ball won't be able to stay still. But welcome to the LK Sport Podcast. Shout out to A1 Dunn on the beat on this episode. We're gonna talk Embiid, Ja Morant situation. The Western Conference Final, Eastern Conference Final. Might go on a little depth. What we think we're gonna win and some things we hope to see for this team to win, that team to win, and go into it and see who we have for the NBA championship. GMoney, what's happening?
What's up? Happy Monday, Tuesday, whatever we want to call it. It's Monday.
Yeah, we're recording this on Monday. 7:22 is the current time. All right. Ja Morant. I'm gonna start with something different. This dude.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
Boy, you must be out of your goddamn mind.
Ja Morant, Instagram Live with another pistol. And it had a beam on it, green beam. If you really watch the video, he had it in his lap the entire time. Got caught on Instagram Live. I guess he snatched the phone down, but we still got it. You can put anything on the internet, they going to slow it down, frame it. So slow down the frame per rate, and, they're going to get it. But I'm kind of speechless that you'll do this again. I know you're a young man in your early 20s, millionaire, living the life, off season. You're doing what you want to do. At the same time, I don't know your parents. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure anybody that loved and cared for you gave you that talk, like, hey, relax. Just be a young man, have fun, but there's some things you just can't do. You're the face of an organization. You're part of the NBA. You're not a gang member. You're an NBA basketball player. You're a professional basketball player, I should say. You're 23 years old. Your future is bright. You got another 10, 12, 15, however many years left to play in this league. You got a chance you got your own shoe. You're part of the Poway brand. Your family last name from years to come is going to be funded by you, is the word I want to use. And for you to go out here flashing a gun, if you like, I was looking at Kwame Brown. He was like, you can go buy all the guns and shoot them at your house all day long. Why won't you just do that? Why was your obsession with getting in front of a camera with a gun? Like, I just don't get the correlation, like, knowing what you just went through and they just gave you a little tap on the hand, like, all right, we're going to let you slide by with this one, y'all. You the face of NBA. We can't suspend you by to be in the playoffs. We need you for the ratings. Your kids love you. You got your own shoe with Nike. I'm pretty sure some backdoor action with Nike was like, hey, give them a break. Poway probably phoned in as well, like, hey, this is our guy. If you suspend the rest of the league, that's messing up the paper. And you go out and you do this again. It's many angles to it. Angle number one, yourself. Why is you riding around in the middle or wherever you at if you need a gun, period? If you feel like you got to be riding around with a gun, you don't need to be in that area or wherever y'all was at the time.
You can afford some private security.
Exactly. Number two, your friends. You knew he was recording because you went into the camera and did your little thing on the young boy, so it's not like you didn't know he was recording this situation at all. So it's just like, okay, then again, I can kind of get your friend. Like, I'm hanging out with Ja Morant, they're my dog. We gonna get on Instagram Live where the hoes at, what's up, and we out here.
Yeah, maybe Ja didn't know he was going live. Maybe he thought it was just a video and be like, yo, don't put that anywhere. Maybe, but
True.
Still.
Number three, private security, as you said. Get you some security, bro. You can you're a millionaire. Literally, you're a walking 8-figure guy. How you a year-round security? What? I don't know, $100K maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's better than losing the millions he's gonna from the advertising, or if he gets kicked out of the league or something like that eventually.
If I'm Ja Morant, I'm finding some way to say that gun was a prop, or that gun disappears. You got that gun can no longer exist on Earth. It's no way that the NBA should find that pistol. Or no way somebody turns in that pistol. I don't know the rules of personally owning a pistol as a person because at the end of the day, he is a human being. He's allowed to have a gun. So I don't know how that rules affects in the NBA contract or how things that go. Like I said, he is in the offseason, but he's still part of a team, and that his job is.
So I don't quite know. Representing the NBA, they're held to like in the NFL, you're held to a different standard. And some people may say it's unfair, but these teams, these things, they're investing all this money into you. They have the right to, people may not agree with it. They have the right to, if you're messing up the image, they have the right to be like, you're gone or suspend you, whatever they want to do. If you're going to, you're going to get paid like that, you got to take it. It's great. I mean,
I'm gonna let you can keep going.
It's crazy. I mean, it baffles me that these guys like continue, and it's like, I mean, he's 23 now.
Yeah,
I mean, he's still young. I mean, still, it's young, but like you would think the other one would have been enough of a. Like I like almost couldn't believe I saw this. I was like, no way.
I thought it was a joke. I thought it was an old video. I ran it back, then I clicked on the internet, and it said,
I'm like, no way. There's no way, especially like in this soon. Like I'm like. I mean, my first
2 months.
Yeah, I mean, my first instinct is he needs some. He needs some new friends. Like and I know he's like and it's like you said, it's you have to understand that you're. If he's, maybe the gun, in the game, the gun's probably legal and everything like that. You can afford to do it the right way. I mean, I know he's a Southern boy, so maybe he likes his guns. He's from South Carolina, but like. He's got to know what the image, and especially with that already happening. Like you can't let your boys put you on video like that or post things like that with just hanging out the gun. It's almost like one thing, like if you saw a gun in the background, or even if it was like in his he had like a holster for it or something like that, and he's like, but like that, like. Just really bad. Just interesting. I was looking at his Wikipedia. I couldn't remember where he was from. That's why South Carolina is. He couldn't dunk until he was a senior.
Really?
Right. Who would think that with the way he's high flying? Just on a little side note there, a little note from John Durant's Wikipedia.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't know the rules. Like I said, I know in the NBA it's its own entity, like you said. So they basically make the rules for their own player. It's separate from like we going to work at a Walmart or just under the law of this minimum wage or what is that called? OSHA or something? No, that's health.
That's like the safety stuff though. OSHA.
Yeah. So what's that like? You got to pay them this way. It's some job laws or whatever. But NBA, NFL, all these big names, they got their own entity, their own rules, their own. How they do things. You can wake up and sneeze wrong in the NFL, and they can literally just fire you or suspend you or whatever. They make team rules. You got your team rules, and you got the NBA rules, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, why I think it's bad that either or you can have your own gun by the Second Amendment. When it happened, Grizzlies immediately suspended him from all league thing. So I'm pretty sure when that first suspension came, it was part of the agreement. Hey, John Morant, you can't be on camera no more with a pistol. It's okay maybe you to have your own pistol as like I said, a person of, walking around, et cetera, for your own protection because you have that right. But I guarantee that first meeting with Adam, and part of that agreement of only giving you that slap on the hand was, hey, we're not going to do this again. No more guns. John, I'm pretty sure you was in the meeting like, yes, sir, no, sir. You won't see no more guns on me. And Memphis Grizzlies, too. They taking a big risk on you. You're the face of their organization. And they trusted you as well to be like, all right, put the guns down. If you're going to do that shit, do it at home with your daddy T and your mother. Y'all go in the back, shoot some props or targets or something. That if that's your obsession with guns, like you said, he might like Glocks and 40s and what guns do. Like you said, he's from South Carolina, so I'm pretty sure he has that country background of liking guns and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, kids look up to you, and you're part of this bigger brand. It's bigger than you. So at the end of the day, I can suspect that NBA, if they find that gun or if it's registered or it's a prop or however they play the game, how it go, he's going to still get suspended. I think each level, if that's a real gun, not registered, oh my God, I can just imagine if they find that pistol and it's not even his and it's somebody's that not even registered, like I said, and it had a beam on it, so it's like it's souped up a little bit. So all they gonna play all this, and if it's an illegal gun that somebody or they just can't find the gun, I don't know how that gonna work. Like I said, I'm going in a circle here, but I can see John at least getting about 50 games, half a season, et cetera, et cetera.
I think half a season might be real here. I mean, obviously pending the investigation and stuff. Like, I looked it up too. It's like apparently in Tennessee is another place that has pretty lax gun laws, and like you can carry, you don't need a permit to carry a gun as long as you're over 21 in Tennessee. So, I think legally, and I mean, we don't know where he was either. We don't know where he was. But it sounds like he didn't break the law. But like I said, it's a different, it's a different. Like in the NBA, Roger Goodell has that, he can wave that, he can wave that fist down for guys that get, Zeke got 6 games for something they didn't even go to court for. You know what I mean? Like, like these guys, you can throw 6 games at the Patriots or Brady when they cheat. You know what I mean? Like they can just do it.
You're going too far.
Boy, if you don't get.
You're going too damn far now. I think we're going to stay on job.
So yeah, Ja, surround yourself with some new people, man. Call me, call Aaron. We'll come hang out with you.
I know, right?
We will keep you out of trouble. We'll split the 100K. We'll split the 100K. We'll keep you out of trouble. Just come on our podcast. We'll be good. We'll, exclusive rights to us.
I make this whole room Memphis Grizzlies. We talk about basketball year round.
The Ja Sports Podcast.
We renamed this bitch for sure, but. Yeah, man.
And we'll keep you out of trouble.
I can say I'm disappointed, but it's just
I will not videotape you with any guns ever. I promise you.
Right? Yeah. Well, I just pray they don't do too much to you, bro, and you get it together. If you ever hear this, it's probably not.
Yeah, I mean, even if they give them like half a season, a full season or something like that. Hopefully that's.
I think the full season might be too much.
But I'm saying, no matter what it is, hopefully that's enough to. If he loses a sneaker deal or something like that, hopefully that's enough to really get him to wake up. I mean. I don't know. We'll see.
I would love to hear that conversation with him and his partner. He'd be like, boy, I was just online. I know they seen. We'd have been fighting. I would have fought his ass for sure. And his mother, his family. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to the disappointment of Embiid.
Fucking Philly.
Yeah, man. Philly shit the bed Game 7 in Boston. They lost the game where it was.
I mean, Game 6 and 7, really. We didn't even talk about Game 6, but that's because we were on after Game 5, right? So yeah,
So I'm gonna go to Game 6 real quick. Stats. They lost. Not even showing the score.
It was close. That was the game they had the 14-point lead or whatever, and then they freaking. In the first half, and then they blew.
They lost 95-86. Okay, there we go. Let's talk about that. We got a stat line. Master gave you 17. Embiid, that's not the right box score. Here we go. That's from Game 7. All right, the box score here. Okay, here we go. Jason Tatum didn't play well that first half, but they still pulled out a shot for 5 for 21, and he popped this shit at the end. He said, "I'm humbly one of the best, greatest basketball players on earth." Basically, what he said. And he got hot in that fourth quarter, and we can talk about it as it carried on to Game 7. But as you look at the Philadelphia stat line, Embiid gave you 26, Tyrese gave you 26, James Harden shit the bed. He gave you 13 points, 9 and 7. I mean, for a regular point guard, I guess we'll be okay with that, damn near triple-double, but it's James Harden, and we know what comes with that. 26 and 10, like I said, from Joel.
He didn't. A big thing from that too is the 26 and 10, which is under his stats, which maybe which again, and this is I don't know. You put this on him partly because for not demanding it, on Harden for not getting it to him, and even the coach. He didn't touch because that game was like a couple points. They ended up losing by 9, but that game was close. He didn't touch the ball in the last 4 minutes of the game.
Right.
The last 4 minutes of like a one possession game. How does that happen?
You got to talk to Doc. You got to talk to James. You got to talk to Mass.
I don't want to put it too much. I mean, you know, and we'll get to, I mean, Doc may be out of a job, but I mean, like, sometimes I don't want to put too much on the coach because he's not out on the court and you can be yelling, screaming, like, give the ball to Embiid. It don't mean the players are going to do it.
Right.
And, you know, Embiid needs to be out there. Like, he needs to be out there, like, in those guys. There was timeouts called. He needs to be in those guys' face being like, I'm the MVP. Give me the freaking ball. But I don't know. I'm starting to think maybe he can't be the best player on a really. I mean, they've never been out of the second round.
I got to stop Embiid. Is still a dominant force.
They've never been out of the second round. So going back and since they've never been out of the process and everything. They've fired coaches. They've gotten rid of Ben Simmons. They had Jimmy Butler there and didn't bring him back. And they got rid of Ben Simmons. They bring Harden. They've been doing all the switching guys in and out of there. All, you know, the one constant through all of this has been Embiid. It's been Embiid. And I'm not an Embiid. I hate Philly. I hate Philly sports. I am not an Embiid hater. I am very impartial with Embiid. I think he's a super talented guy. I don't love him. I don't hate him. But, like, I mean, and I don't put this all on him either. I think it's a mix of him, Doc, and Harden. But like he's the you got. I mean, can he? You know, it's in today's, and maybe it's the thing. Maybe in today's NBA, can your best player be like, you know, be that kind of guy? Unless it's Jokic. But I mean, Jokic is real help though.
Jokic wouldn't let this happen. Let's have a little fun. We switched Jokic, Denver, Philly. So we put Jokic on Philly with Harden, Maxey, Tobias, who else? Who I'm missing? PJ Tucker, DeAnthony Milton. This whole squad right here.
But they lose a lot defensively when you do that. That's the
very true.
That's the difference between the two of them. But
your assist rate gonna pick up, your scoring gonna pick up. When Harden not giving it to you, Jokic can give it to you. I mean, I don't think Jokic would have went out the way they went out yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, probably not. But I mean, it's such a bad. It's so bad.
So let's talk about it. Game 7, they get blew out the water. They gave up. Philly went on this. Boston went on this incredible run. It was tied 55 at one point, and then all of a sudden it was 60-88. So basically, they went on a 33-2 run.
Yeah, they outscored them 33-10 in the third quarter alone. Like that's, I mean,
we're gonna go with the good. Then I'm gonna get on Embiid ass.
What good? Oh, Boston.
Yes, Tatum, 51 points. I mean, efficient. 17 for 28, 6 for 10 for Trey, 11 for 14 from the free throw line, 13 rebounds to go with that. 5 assists, 2 steals. You had Al Horford, he chipped it in. He got a couple baskets to fall from the three-point line. Then you had Jaylen Brown doing Jaylen Brown shit, 25, 6, and 2. Played great, played very well. I mean, 9 for 19. I mean, he shoot enough. He sometimes not going to be as efficient as other.
Yeah, he's a guard. That's not bad.
So, I mean, when Tatum giving you 51, you don't have to have Derek White to score, Brogdon and all those guys to really chip in like that as much as they would normally have to. It was just a great night from Tatum. I mean, he got hot. Once he get on, he's very streaky. If you watch basketball, Jason Tatum, once he sees it go in a few times, and he catch on, it's hard to stop that guy. He's 6, 9 or some shit. And it's hard for anybody to guard him. Nobody can literally guard him in the league once he gets to that level of hotness. But back to Philly, Doc, you got to run something at him. He was literally one-on-one. They were picking and rolling, getting Embiid on him. He was doing what he wanted to Embiid. Embiid give him a little space. He shoot a tray. Embiid crowd him. He go to the rim. Then when it's too late in the fourth, or the late third, fourth, you want to send 2 at him. First of all, he gave you 25 in the first half. My damn near whole halftime meeting was, we're not going to let their best guy beat us. And that's exactly any team in little league, high school, middle school, college, they game plan for the other team best player. Oh, we're not going to let this guy beat us. We're not. Game 7, I don't give a damn Marcus Smart beat us. Goddamn Derek White, Malcolm Brogdon. We're not going to let their best player. You didn't run nothing in that game to get Tatum off a spot, foul him hard. You did nothing. That's why I'm so upset with Doc Rivers. I'm like, the guy's giving you the business. Foul him hard. Send 2 at him. Guard his ass all full court. PJ Tucker, get in his shit. Let Jaylen Brown or somebody else beat you. And they didn't change nothing. They was pick and roll. He had a one-on-one with DeAnthony Milton. Come on, guy. That's barbecue chicken. Let's get right. Like, I'm watching the game like, they gave up. They didn't give a fuck no more. They mid-third, they were just like, oh, this over with. We going home. Let's go to Tulum, Turkey Caicos. Let's go and get back to Philly so we can pack our shit. James Harden already in Houston. He ready to go back home to Houston. It's just over. He clocks out, and that's another playoff Harden. We can get on that shit. He shit the bed 2 games in a row. 2 more chances, just like Doc. Doc go up 3-2, 3-1. He fell. Playoff Harden gets up 2 games, 1 game, get a chance to eliminate the people. He can't get it done. I don't get it.
In all their losses, he shot 22% in the lot, and he was like 9 for 55 in the 4 losses.
That man would listen to this. That man went 9, 7, and 6 in a closeout game. Shot the ball he was 3 for 11, 1 from 5 from Trey. It was pitiful, but all said and done, game over. Congrats to the Celtics for moving on. Post conference, Embiid has the fucking audacity to get up there and say, me and James can't win it by ourselves. It's a team game, 5-on-5. What? What? Do you think
it's supposed to be the MVP?
MVP role model of the league. You the top of the league right now. You the MVP. Nobody can take that from you now. Technically they saying you the best player in the game right now. And you go out there and literally throw your entire team beside you and James under the bus like they the reason why we lost. Is this a play to get James to come back? Like, hey, James, I saw you trying out there. I want you back. That's me and you running back. Or what is a play of your next move? Like, okay, I'm tired of Philly. I'm ready to get out of here. This is my first step of forcing my way out of Philly. Or my number 3 part was, who wants to play with you now? Who the fuck want to play with you if they know that's what you're going to say about them when y'all do lose?
They want Dame. That's what they want. That's what they're already.
But it's just a bad look.
My buddy lives in like the Philly area, and that's what they're all. He's not a Philly fan, but they're like they're all instantly. They're like, we want Dame. But
we ain't gonna talk about the 5 from 18 you gave him.
Yeah, no, and it's. I mean, as bad as Harden was, I heard an interesting point, and I don't know where you go with this, but it means, are you blaming him more than Harden? Is that an interesting thought? Although Harden was terrible in these last 2, I mean, he wasn't as bad in Game 6 as he was in Game 7, but he was overall horrible in all 4 losses. Was the quick little point that somebody said was they said that Harden, although in the series Harden won 2 games,
yeah, true,
he won 2 games for them.
Embiid won
but Embiid didn't win one for them. Like Harden,
he went crazy in Game 5.
I mean, Harden had that 45-point game. He had the game where he hit the 3 at the end to win the game. So he literally won 2 games. But I guess you could argue.
But Game 5, he went 33, and he closed that game. Like you said, I can agree with what you're saying.
I mean, that's basically what he averages. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. But it's
even Damian Lillard reposted what he said. He was like,
they won 2 road games in the series. How do you not win the series? You could even, when you win 2 road games in a series, you can even still lose one at home, and you still win this. And one of those games was without Embiid, which is just so you lose. I mean, even if you just break it down to that, you beat them without Embiid. You win Game 5 in a 2-2 series, and you still lose the series. You just can't. It just can't happen. You want to argue that Boston's the better team and this and that, but when you get in that, when you put yourself in that, even the Embiid being like, oh, it's a 5-on-5, when you get to, you're able to go up 3-2 in that series, do what you did, you're good enough to finish that series. There's no excuses.
He blew my mind with that. I was like, well, are you serious? Instead of going ahead, Danny, I got 2 more things to say about this guy. Danny had the nerve to be funny, talking about Giannis. Oh, it wasn't a failure. It's a step success with a grin on your face. It showed me that you been checked out. You checked this shit out. Soon that you seen you was gonna lose.
At least Giannis got a ring. You haven't been to the conference final, dude. You haven't even been to a conference final.
I lost some respect from Embiid, and I'm like, bro, this was not the exit interview for you to do this. It was you should have went up there and said we had a great season. We kind of overachieved. We played one of the best teams in the league. We couldn't get it done. I would have been better off he blamed it on his knee. Like, my knee started bothering me as a seat. You know, you could have gave us that shit, and we could have ate that, and we could have believed that because they said you're injured. You got to have surgery, and we could have ate that shit up. Like, okay, all right, and knee probably was, but now we can blame it all on playoff Harden again, and we give you another excuse just like the Ben Simmons year, and we can keep giving Embiid passes on passes as you was hitting too earlier. Like, sooner or later, Joel Embiid, you got to get it done on your own. Congratulations on the MVP, but you went out like a sucker to me. I really believe that. If I really just have, like I said, I lost respect for Embiid, period. I'm just going to let it go like that. I just didn't appreciate that exit interview. You should have just let it go, just stuck up for your team, say, my guys, we tried, and gave that whole, I'm taking this on, and we'll be back next year, and we're going to sit down with Daryl Morey, and, you know, give that.
Yeah, you say the things you say that behind closed doors, or you say it in a month or something like that. You don't say it.
Not in that moment.
Not in that moment. And it's a shame too, because like I said, like he's generally, we were talking about before the pod a little bit, like he generally takes, in the prior years, he's kind of like, even when it wasn't maybe even less of his fault, he's kind of always kind of taking the blame. And then this year, I don't know if he like winning the MVP went to his head or something like that, but like to throw those guys like that, I just
need to get back to Jokic, man. Jokic should be 3-time MVP. That's how I feel, man. And I wanted you to win it, but that shit just rolled me so bad. That was like, wow, this is your teammate. Anybody is a good role player. Like, oh yeah, I want to play with Embiid. Now if we lose, he gonna blame me. You know what I mean? It just didn't look good to me. Like, I mean, you're going to have some decent players out there. I mean, it's not the greatest free agency this year. But at the same time, I mean, you got your Jeremy Grant. I think he can help you win a championship. He better than Tucker to me. He would have gave you some buckets. He could have performed. I mean, these little guys out here, Cam Johnsons and things. I'm pretty sure they'll put a formidable team together. But before we say that and move on to the 14 that are playing, if you're Daryl Morey and the Philadelphia 76ers, I know how you personally feel about Philadelphia sports, so we're going to try to put that to the side. One, would you bring Harden back or try your best to bring Harden back on some type of deal? Number two, dump Harden or sign and trade Harden, get some picks back and go after Dame? Or three, would you be like, okay, F it, fire Doc, and B, you want to go somewhere? Okay, cool, where you want to go? We're going to get a big haul, and you start on your OKC Thunder like journey. I mean, you went through this in the early 2010. The process obviously is not working. You had some great seasons. Let's not act like this shit was a total failure. I mean, you got back to the playoffs. Philadelphia was happy, et cetera, but you never won it. So that's ultimate goal.
Never out of the second round.
True. So out of those three choices, what would you do if you was a Philly fan?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you want to say, go get Dame, go get freaking Monty Williams, things like that. But I don't know if any of that's realistic. I don't know if any of that's realistic because they may have made all these moves the last couple of years. They don't have draft picks. They don't have and even if Harden opts out and you don't owe them money because of the way the salary cap is, they're not going to just have him. I don't know if they have the assets to be able to make a move like that. They might need to bring in some smaller pieces. I just can't imagine when they've come this far and they've still not even gotten past this that they're going to just up and trade Embiid. I just can't imagine they're going to do that. I don't think I would do that. I would try to.
I mean, only way that can work is Embiid say, "Fuck, I don't want to play here no more." That's like that. Literally the only way. But go ahead. Sorry,
he's probably not going to do that. I think you have to try to like run it back and add some pieces, or see what's out there. If you can entertain some stuff, I don't know. It's funny that we mentioned the whole Dame thing too. They want him. Dame actually kind of like, I don't know if you saw the tweet.
He was like, "Huh?"
Yeah, like, question mark, like after about him throwing his guy. So from that tweet, I would say Dame didn't like that. I mean, then again, though, you start talking to Dame, hey, we can make a move, and you can go play with Embiid in Philly and get out of Portland and have a chance. That might change his mind a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I think that you try to keep improving that team and try to win.
All right, I'm looking up there. I got their 2023-24 contract. Still got Embiid at $46 million. Tobias at $39 million. Wow. Which he can be a free agent / max bird guy, if that makes sense. He got it's non-guaranteed, so Tobias, they can figure something out with Tobias, but I think it may be some type of free agent max bird. I'm trying to figure that out as I read it, but you got Harden, got the $35 million player option. Well, I'm pretty sure you're going to lock that in. If not, unless another team promise him something like, yeah, I give you 3 years, $100 million or something like that. PJ Tucker got $11 million non-guaranteed. You got DeAnthony Milton $8 million, and you got you still got to get Max Hill contract. This is last year, that rookie contract. He's at 4.3 right now. And you had Cork Moss that didn't play for you this year. He was injured. Gave you 5. He's on the book for 5.3. Daniel House got a $4 million player option, and Montrez got you a $3 million player option. So I'm pretty sure them guys, if they feel like they can't get a contract, they gonna click that in. So, I mean, you're gonna have some wiggle room, but I mean, I don't know. You have to figure it out.
And our team's gonna want, with the new CBA, our team's gonna want to pay that bird tax and everything. Now it's gonna really start to get pricey for these owners now. So,
right,
because if you go over, it's always cost money, but now it's gonna really cost money to go over.
Right.
So we'll see what you like with like the Warriors are like a huge example. Their salary is basically gonna double next year if they don't do anything differently.
Yeah, I think they're gonna break that up. We'll talk about it in the complete off season, but let's talk to the winners, because the winners play. Winners continue to play. We can stay on that east side. Miami closed out New York. Yeah,
Let's go Heat. Let's go Heat. Let's go Heat.
They closed them out in 6. They played a great game. We ain't talk much about it, but they played a great game. I mean, Brunson gave it his all. Julius shit the bed per usual. I can say no, I'm sorry. He's an all NBA player. We're not gonna talk about him like that, but
no, Brunson's the man.
Yeah,
he's the man.
Brunson, the man. One
of the best signings in the history of the NBA, right there.
Especially the type of contract he's under right now. But
did you, before we hop onto Miami, like, did you see the stuff that like Spoelstra was saying after the game?
No,
Spoelstra was just like, he was like, this kid is like unbelievable. Yeah. He's like I'm mad he's in the East now. It's like he's basically what he said. But yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, you got to be around him. You got to figure something out, man. I mean,
and bring in Dame, bring in Giannis, do something. It's like,
I mean, if Embiid force out of Philly, you can put a package together for him. Mitchell,
for sure.
Randall, pack it all up. Start with just Brunson and Embiid and go from there. But shout out, we got a Miami-Boston Eastern Conference Final. The bubble is back because you got LA and Denver, so this is the bubble all over again. First look at this. Boston, the most talented team. Every team Miami played this year, other team was technically from 1 through 15 was better than them. But at the end of the day, it's about the heart and coaching to me with that got Miami here and that dog and Jimmy Butler. If you go Vegas, Boston's favorite with -550 to win the series.
Yeah, 600, something like that. Yeah, so, I mean, depending where you're looking at it. Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, and rightfully so. They're the 2 seed versus the 8 seed. They should be favored like that. I mean, that's probably the way. Just like I said, based on talent, that's probably how it should be. But I mean, the thing is that Miami, they've given them trouble a lot. And they went 7 games last year in the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, there's no hero still, I don't think. So I mean, that's. But they do. Miami has the perimeter defenders though to try to to bottle up the 2 stars there. So I think it's. I mean, I think. It's probably going to be Boston, unfortunately. But.
As I look at it, I mean, they had a great season. They went back and forth all season. Miami, like I said, that dog. If I have to say something right now, I say Boston to win the series. I wouldn't be surprised if Miami going to Boston game 1, catch them off guard and steal one. I'm pretty sure they're going to have a game playing together. I'm pretty sure he's going to outcoach Missoula. So that's one thing you do got to look forward to. Bam versus Horford / Robert Williams. Bam came along on the offensive end in them last couple of games. So his offense hasn't caught up with his defense yet, as we would like. He's like this 5th season or something like that. What is Bam like 5th, 4th season? He's always in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. He always play great defense. And if his offense just take that extra level, he'll be an all NBA guy. But then you got Jimmy Butler versus all the bodies Boston can throw at him. You can throw White at him. You can throw Brown at him. You can throw Brogdon. Well, not quite Brogdon. Smart. And then sometimes if you need to put some more length on, you can throw Tatum at him.
Tatum can play some defense.
So. Yeah, so, I mean, that's one thing, Jimmy Butler versus all those guys. And then you got your undrafted players. You got your Strus. You got your, Strus going to go out for a quarter. He always seemed to go out for 1 quarter out of every 3-4 games. He go score 12 in 1 quarter, 4 threes. Kyle Lowry still turning back the clock of time. What can he do for you in this series? Is he going to be able to kind of push what Smart do and White and those guys do? Can he kind of equal what they got going on with Brogdon coming off the bench, him coming off the bench, which is another aspect of this bench scoring? You got Duncan Robinson, you got Kyle Lowry, you got who else they bring off the bench over there in Miami?
Your guy Kevin Love.
Love starting at the center right now. So
yeah, that was actually they and just the genius of Spoelstra, because he's been, Love's been playing pretty well. He's been starting, but in that Knicks game, the Knicks were targeting him, and he played 12 minutes. He played 12 minutes in that closeout game because he was just like, yeah, we're not letting this happen. He's not that important. We can do this without him. Let's go in there, but. He's a guy that's going to get some minutes. He's probably, especially like him and Horford. That's not like they kind of match up kind of well. I mean, Horford's the better player still, but at this point, he's not too athletic for him defensively, at least. So.
True. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. I mean, at the end of the day, you got Tatum, Brown, Smart, and Brogdon. The X factor for me is White. White just disappeared this past series. He didn't play. He played a minutes low last game, even though they didn't need him much in the second half with the lead that they had. His minutes diminished through the series, so I'm kind of concerned. He had a great series against Atlanta. They're going to need him this next series, and Brogdon. They're going to need both him and Brogdon to score some points. I think you can see some more defense. I think what Spoelstra's going to throw at Boston, they haven't seen this whole postseason, with some strategies and defensive strategies, some walling up, some make them shoot the trace. I'm really interested in seeing this series, and like I said, I don't be surprised if Miami go into Boston game 1 and steal one.
Yeah, I think the defense of White's going to be really important in this series. I don't think he necessarily has to be a big factor scoring, as long as they're getting some scoring from the other guys. But he's probably going to be. I feel like he's going to be the guy probably that's going to catch that Jimmy Butler, that assignment first. So I feel like that's going to be his important thing in this series, is trying to contain him. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'm going to say Miami in 6. Yeah. That's kind of my official prediction.
Wait,
I guess.
Whoa! Make sure I get that on. Let me run that back. Hold on. Say it one more time.
Miami in 6. That's for you, Pedro.
Yikes.
It's the whole thing. I'm picking them partly because I don't like Boston, partly because when you're picking I hate picking the road team in 7. I hate picking when you're picking the underdog, it's hard to pick them in 7 and have them winning a game 7, on the road. So if the underdog's going to win, I like to pick them in 6 generally.
Hey man,
I've been wrong on almost every series so far. So maybe for those first couple rounds, not every series, but I've been wrong on a lot of these series. So that's why you're probably not going to like my Western Conference pick later on. But we'll get there eventually.
We can kick you out of the show. It don't matter. But another factor, maybe one more thing, Tyler Hero, maybe magical things can happen if they stretch us out to game 6 or 7.
If Hero comes back, Miami in 5. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
If they can stretch this out to game 6 or 7, I'm reading a few things right now. It said May 29th is a go day. So if it's a game 7, Tyler Hero will be playing. Good news for the Heat is that Hero doing other things while recovering from hand injury. Eastern Conference Final Series is winding up, and May 29th will be his comeback date. So if it go game 7, you can see Tyler Hero at the end, maybe.
Or when they win it in 6 and go to the NBA Finals, like I said, he'll be able to play.
So, but I'm gonna take Boston in 6. No, I got time. This is recording, so give me a second. Let me really think about this, because like I said, I can see Miami going in there and stealing game one and kind of shocking the world, but this is what they do. Game 2, Boston blow them out. Game 3, back in Miami. Great game. Boston shocks the world, wins game 3. Game 4, back against the wall. Jimmy Butler has that game. 2-2. Game 5, back in Boston. Ooh, Boston just went through this last series. They don't want to do it again. They thought about it. They're going to win game 5. Back to Miami. Does Tatum have another one of those closeout games, 50-pointers in him? They try to get it done in Miami and shock the world again, just like this is what we do. I'm going to say no. Game 6 goes to Miami, goes back to Boston. Game 7, Boston gets it done.
Tatum turns his angle, they lose.
Boston in 7. That's how it's going to go. Game 1, Heat. Game 2, Boston. Game 3, Boston. Game 4, Heat. Game 5, Boston. Game 6, Heat. Game 7, Boston. On wax.
I just don't want to throw up in my mouth if it's Boston, LA again. Like
that's on wax. Y'all got it. Let's move on to the best team in the league. Los Angeles Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers. That's who I'm rolling with. I've been rolling the whole postseason. I'm a LeBron fan. So, anyway. But it's going to be a great series. We're going to talk. Let's talk about them closing out Golden State in 6. Great game by LeBron. LeBron came out. Their whole entire team played well. Austin Reed played well. Schroeder played well. He got injected in the third quarter. Him and Draymond got their love affair going on. But all around, great game by the Lakers. 20 rebounds by Anthony Davis. All click. They switched out. They put Vanderbilt on the bench for this last couple games. I guess it just wasn't a great matchup for him, which was actually great. They started Schroeder in game 6, and they just played an awesome game. And it's encouraging to see they can switch it up like that with these different role players and still get it done.
Yeah, all those guys are kind of like interchangeable. Whether you need some offense or you need some defense. Like, Golden State. They got nothing from Poole. They got nothing from they got really nothing from the role guys. Like, and Clay. And Clay had that one big game, and the rest of it, he just looked like. Yeah, he looked like he's done. I mean, I don't think he's done, but he looked like he was. Like, it's just that was a pretty lackluster performance from Golden State, to say the least. Yeah,
I'm reading that Golden State might reach out to Clay and ask him to take a pay cut for an extension. So, i.e., we'll sign you a 4-year extension for, say the average is 25, but we're gonna sign you 4 years at $20 million or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, like I said, like the whole thing, like they said, he don't owe them anything. Yeah, he don't owe them anything. He gave them 4 rings. Like they don't. Same thing with Draymond too. Because same thing. He's got 1 year left. He's eligible for an extension. So we'll see what they do. They definitely have some questions. I mean, I think that team is still. If you keep those 3 guys together and move some things around there, I think they're still.
You can't keep Jordan Poole and Draymond Green next year. It's not going to work.
Yeah, I just don't.
You can't keep that together. And Jordan Poole is guaranteed to be on the contract. So that's the other thing. And then back to what you were saying earlier, you made a good point. They got to find some way to cut that luxury tax. They got to, man. They got to.
Unless the owner wants to keep playing it, unless he wants to pay it, which I mean I can't imagine. But now it's going to get real expensive. Now it's going to it was expensive before. It's going with the new CBA. It's going to get really really pricey for the teams that are constantly over the salary cap. It's going to get really pricey. So we'll see. I mean that's going to be the. They'll be they got some decisions to make. Because is the dynasty over? I don't know.
I think Draymond's gonna opt out. He still got a couple of decent years left and doing what he does, which is controlling tempo, grabbing rebounds, and playing defense.
He's talking like he wants to be back. Talking about because he's like people. He was on his podcast talking about the dynasty's not people. They said it was over before. They said I wasn't going to be a pro. He's doing all this thing, talking like he thinks they're going to run it back. So, but I mean, not every dynasty is the Bulls and they just win it like every year. You know what I mean? The Spurs, won some here and there. your Patriots in the NFL. They didn't win 6 in a row. There was 6 over like 15 years, so
the best team ever play NFL football. Oh yeah.
But so again, like I said, I'm still not ready to put the nail in the Sixers yet.
I just think he opts out and goes somewhere else. I mean, after that situation with Jordan Poole, I think he just.
But they gotta make big change because the West is,
getting better.
Yeah, I mean the West has always been deep,
but Memphis just got worse.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe Memphis, but I mean another year at Denver. You gotta think Phoenix is gonna do something. They're gonna shake that up, and they have Katie and Booker, so that right there alone, another year those guys playing together.
True. Lakers still gonna bring the same.
The Lakers should be assuming AD doesn't sneeze next year and hurt him, throughout his back for 75 games.
Well, still was good. It's kind of hard when everybody just.
Are the Clippers going to be healthy? The Clippers. I mean, that's the latest. Talking about the Western Conference with that, the rumor is right now. There was already the rumor that Ty Lue was fed up with the Clippers. Now the latest rumor is that he's the favorite for the Phoenix job.
That's excellent. I like it. I like Ty.
I don't know how they get out of that. Yeah, he's a coach. He's an X's and O's coach. Speaking of the thing with Doc Rivers, that's another thing too. Like people were talking about Doc Rivers is like he's a culture guy. He comes in, changes the culture, does things like that, but he's not the guy that's going to bring you in at halftime and be like, all right, they're doing this. Let's do this, this, and this. Like, and he's not a Tyrone Lue. He's not Eric Spoelstra. Those guys make adjustments. And even looks like Ham seems to be that kind of guy too. He looks like Ham looks to be a very good X's and O's guys. I mean,
he's done well with the substitution this whole postseason. He's doing some things very well. I know people give him a little hell that he got 2 great players on this team, but Ham actually doing some great subs. He's doing some little things, and to subbing people in and out at the right time, playing the correct role players, and so on. No,
he seems like he's got. I mean, it always helps when you got AD and LeBron. You know what I mean? But it looks good, and we'll see what he does in this because I feel like for a big thing in this series is going to be. I think Vanderbilt's going to be big in this series because I would think he's going to draw that first try at Jamal. Yeah. I would think. I mean, maybe if they're smart, you'll see LeBron on him too a little bit. But you'll see those guys. But you never want at LeBron's age, you don't want him. You don't want him chasing him around.
He's gonna be hiding on Pope. I think he's gonna be hiding on his friend Caldwell Pope in the corner, resting him for offense. I think you're gonna see AD guarding Jokic for the most part. You might even see some Tristan Thompson maybe. I don't know. I don't know about maybe. You got to find a break somewhere for AD in there to guard Jokic 40 minutes and give you offense unless he just come in and
he might just do that thing where he like shadows Jokic. You know what I mean? Yeah. He gets a break when Jokic gets a break. I mean, I don't know has AD been putting big minutes in? Has he been putting like? Because I know you worry about him getting hurt, but Jokic doesn't play 45 minutes either. He usually plays like 39, 40. So that's probably what I would probably do.
At Jokic a little bit here. Like I said, AD gets in foul trouble. This is going to be. I mean, I don't know. That's the only thing that really troubles me in this series. Before we get started in this series, I want to applaud Monty Williams. I mean, you did an excellent job with Phoenix, man, to get fired like that. I mean, the new owner wanted to bring his own regime in, which I kind of respect, and Mac Espio.
Heard KD's asking for a trade.
No, I hope not. But Monty Williams did an excellent job. He had the most win in the 3 years he was here. You took him to the NBA finals. And I want to shout you out because back to
don't matter if you win anymore. I mean, all those three of the last 4 head coaches to win championships have been fired, and he went to a finals, and he went to a finals 2 years ago, and he's been fired.
Yeah, man, and I really touched base with Monty Williams after when his wife and his got in that car accident and got killed, and then they opened up his personal life to everybody, and did a little mini series for ESPN and how great of a person he was, and I just felt for him like, damn, he just got fired. I mean, it wasn't.
He should have a job right quick. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure he'd get hired somewhere, but it's just
Philly.
Yeah, maybe somewhere. But
back the Knicks, maybe I don't know.
Nah, Thibodeau's there for a while. He did great for y'all this year. Back to the LA Denver series. You got, like I said, the Jokic AD can get him in foul trouble some type of way. That's going to be very scary for us. Then you might see some Braun on Jokic just with the strength body him up, try to wear him down. Then you, like I said, you got you got the battle of the role players. You got what Caldwell Pope gonna give you, what Aaron Gordon gonna give you, what Michael Porter Jr. give you. If Michael Porter can get streaky, it's gonna be rough too. So that's another thing you gotta factor into this series. Then the bench player and Bruce Brown, and then they bring in Bruce Brown, Chris Brown, and who else? They play the eight guy rotation as well. Who is that?
Am I drawing blank? It's got to be a bigger guy. It's
oh my god, because they didn't play much of Thomas Bryant. Let me click.
No, he hasn't been playing at all.
Oh my god, I know they ran an eight guy rotation though, if I'm not mistaken. But
no, they definitely play somebody else. It's just it's a bigger guy. It's they have to play somebody else. It's just not just so all those other guys are guards.
This is weird to me that I can't think of who it is, but I think in the end of the day, I think our role players, the Lakers role players are better than that. I think between Rui, Schroeder, Lonnie Walker now.
Jeff Green gets some minutes.
Yeah, Jeff Green, he gets those minutes. I just think if you line them up, Jokic, AD, you can say it's a push. If you AD playing at the top. I mean, Jokic is one of the greatest in the game right now. No denying it. If I was drafting right now, I would have Jokic on my team. And it would be hard not to pick AD. A healthy 82-game AD versus a healthy 82-game Jokic. Which one would you choose right now?
I mean, you're telling me AD is going to be healthy?
Yeah, 82-game.
Like just for 1 year? This is 1 year?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah,
I'm probably taking AD if you can give me a 100% guarantee and that's the only way I'm doing it. I'm like money back guarantee, like I'm taking AD because he's a top 5 player, and I mean not to say that Jokic isn't, but he's also a top 5 defender too.
Correct. That's the defensive part. That's what I'm gonna get to. So I'm just going to say push at the center position. Then you go to drop to the 4. You got LeBron versus Gordon. We're going to pick Gordon. Then we drop down one more position. Let's put Vanderbilt here for the sake of the conversation. Vanderbilt versus, who's their 3? Michael Porter Jr. I take Michael Porter Jr. for the scoring. Then you drop down to the 2.
Michael Porter Jr. is at the point now where he's almost, he really shouldn't be a role player anymore, but he still kind of is, but...
We're going to drop down to the 2. We got Austin Reeves versus Caldwell Pope. Caldwell Pope, defensive guy, lock you down, can get streaky from the 3. Austin Reeves can run some offense through him. He can shoot the 3 well, mid-range.
Reeves, you might see Reeves on Murray too. Probably see him on Murray too.
He's an average defender, so I'm going to go Austin Reeves. It depends who you are. You're going to take Caldwell Pope. So we're going to drop to the 1. Russell Murray going Murray.
Yeah.
But you got the Russell, Schroeder, all that you can throw at him. So if you're saying that out loud, who you taking?
I mean, yeah, Denver.
Starting 5.
Denver on paper.
True. Okay.
But you don't want to hear who I'm picking.
You can go ahead and talk your shit, bro.
No, I'm. It's one of those ones. Like I guess whoever wins that series, I will be rooting for in the finals. There's no ifs and as much as I hate the Lakers, I hate the Lakers. But I like you. I'm a LeBron guy. Like LeBron and Jokic are like 2 of my 3 favorite players in the league. Right. So it's hard.
Oh, Luka.
Yeah, and my guy Luka. Ja too, but I'm like Ja's
Jalen Brunson ain't made it up there yet.
No, he's right there. He's right there for sure. But it's like I'm picking the Lakers in 6. I'm sorry, Lakers. I'm sorry, LeBron, because I've been wrong about them in every series so far. I've picked against them all playoffs so far, and now I'm picking them in 6. So hopefully I don't mush them for that. Lakers in 6.
I didn't expect that coming. I just knew you would come in here with that nugget shit.
I'd been picking. I picked Phoenix in the other series, but that was no. I think it's gonna be a really good series. This I will say too about the series. It's gonna be like one of those weird series. Like because again, sometimes you see
I'm very surprised.
Sometimes you see short series. You'll see like a 4 or 5 game series, but every game is super competitive. So it looks like, a team lost 4-1, but really they lost like, 4 one possession games. But there's almost nothing that would surprise me in this series. I'd be shocked if there's like a sweep either way or whatever, but I'm not going to be surprised because I think the way these teams match up, I think the games are going to be closer on the closer side. And if one team just pulls out all these close games, it could be a short series, but I expect it to be a long series. But
I'm surprised. I'm so surprised right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm really thrown off. Like, whoa! I was just really.
The Lakers are doing it, man. They're doing it. They're been the defense on the defensive end. I don't know. And LeBron, I think LeBron trying to year 20, trying to get that, trying to get to 5, and they look like that team right now. It's like.
I'm taking Lakers in 6 as well. I just like this Laker basketball team. You got AD. I think he's going to take it personal versus Jokic. He's going to try to show the world that when I'm healthy, nobody can top me at the 5. I am the best center in the league. Nobody can out-defend me. I'm the top 5 defender. I can score it. I can rebound. I can block shots. I can affect the game in so many ways. And then I think LeBron, he's itching closer. He liked his team. One step closer. And then you always, with this Laker team, you always get somebody else involved. Either to be the Austin Reeves game, the Rui Hachimura game, the Lonnie Walker game, the Schroeder game. You got the D'Angelo Russell game. It just got so many things they can throw at you to try to stop them. And I don't know if Jokic is going to be enough. I think, like I said, if AD doesn't get in foul trouble out of however many games and can continue to, like you say, shadow him possibility, then, like I said, you got the LeBron factor. If he does, I can see LeBron guarding Jokic some. And then, at push come to serve, like I said, you got Tristan Thompson and Wayne Gabriel on the bench. And you might get a blow here and there for AD. I don't know how that is really going to work, but we in the nitty-gritty of things. We ain't got time to play with the bullshit. We got to play our best player. They got to play 40 minutes or so. You're going to have to do it. Chris Brown, I don't think you're going to be able to get it done. I don't think none of those bench guys can match us. Maybe Bruce Brown can have a good game. I got some respect for him. He plays great. Yeah, he plays a great role. But you bringing in Chris Brown to cover some guys, Austin Reeves. I just think when it comes to, you got AD, LeBron, then you got Jokic, Murray, Porter. But after AD, LeBron, you got Russell, Reeves, Schroeder, Lonnie Walker. They can go 9 deep if they want to. Sometimes they can play some Troy Brown here and there. They deep. I just love this basketball team, and I think the confidence they just gained from being the last year champions, they're gonna carry it into Denver. That team is smiling. That team is having fun. The bench is having fun, and that just. When you see that in previous LeBron teams, that these teams getting along with the chemistry, having fun, it's hard to beat.
Yeah, I don't necessarily. Again, I think it's a law. I think, as I said, I'm not going to at all be surprised if Denver wins the series, like at all.
I wouldn't be too upset.
They have home court and they've been very good. They've been very, very good at home. Yeah. The high altitude, all that kind of stuff seems to affect teams. And some of the other little things we haven't seen. And Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon's been great this year.
Aaron Gordon versus LeBron.
The other thing we haven't seen too is we haven't even really seen playoff Jamal yet. Like if that guy shows up and Jokic is scoring 25 and dishing 15 assists and Murray's going for 40 and whatever, right. It could be interesting. I expect a great series. No matter. The good thing is I don't have like a super. I'm okay with either guy. I'm either team. So
if Lakers,
I probably want Denver a little bit more. Just
if Denver was to beat Lakers, I hate the
Lakers because I hate the Lakers.
I hate for them to beat the Lakers and not win it. If they beat Lakers, I just want them to win it.
I don't want to see Boston and LA again. Like, really, do we need to see that again?
The most ratings. We're talking money.
Yeah, but maybe Denver. But the NBA is about the stars. Miami, LA. That's what Stephen A. Smith wants. He wants Miami. Those are all they're all bigger. Denver's not. Denver's smaller market, but not. Jokic is one of the biggest names in the game. So at least in the NBA, you get the names that help with more than the city. But there's no Milwaukee here. There's no Cleveland. You know what I mean? I'm sure the NBA would rather have Colorado, have LA than Denver, but it's not gonna. The fact that you have Miami or Boston versus them,
getting high and deal.
The fact that you'd have Denver versus Miami or Boston, which are both major.
Well, LA open smoking area too, right?
It is. So. Yeah, it was actually the first place.
Yeah. But like I was saying, if Denver somehow beats Lakers in this series, I would love for Denver to win. I don't want nobody in the East, but I wouldn't mind.
They're -1. They're -165.
I wouldn't mind seeing. I know we're going to move a little fast forward before we end it. I wouldn't mind Miami winning the championship. I just don't want Boston to win it for some odd reason.
Amen.
I mean, then at the end of the day, I'd be happy for Tatum and them guys, Jaylen Brown being from Atlanta. But I mean, at the end of the day, I want Braun to win number 5.
Boston don't need any more championships. They got enough. You're freaking.
Lakers got 13.
But I'm talking about like the city of Boston with the freaking with all those. I mean, they have basketball hasn't been whatever, but damn Patriots. Damn Patriots.
Hey man, don't hate on them, bro. It's over with for now. We on the back burner for now. Bills good, Dolphins good. Jets gonna try to run it with Aaron Rodgers this year, see what they can get out of him. So, but before we wrap it up, Tuesday night, game 1. When you just come out on this morning, Tuesday morning. You got game 1. Oh, I didn't go through it. I'm gonna put my shit on wet. Game 1, Lakers. Game 2, Nuggets. Game 3, Lakers. Game 4, same shit. Game 4, Lakers. Game 5, Nugget. Game 6, Lakers. That's how it's going to go. But game 1, Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m., Lakers, Denver. Then you got, on Wednesday, you got Miami, Boston, and they go on every other night. So we start getting basketball.
Thank you for the 8:30 games.
Yeah, I know, right?
Finally, no more 10 o'clock. And I'm like, I got to get up tomorrow.
But I'm anticipating a great series. Like I said, I'm anticipating some very good basketball. And Garrett, I think, which is going to be more exciting, the Lakers, Denver, or Miami, Boston?
Yeah, I think the Western Conference.
I think so.
I think the Western. It's just the naturally. I mean, obviously the Eastern Conference has the potential for a Boston to just wax them. It has that potential. And then if it's not, it means because Miami is like mucking it up and it's ugly and it's, I mean, again, I guess it depends what you like though. If you like, old school 80s and 90s basketball, you probably want to watch that series. I mean, you probably see a little bit of that in the Lakers series too, what they're going to try to do to Jokic. But I think the Lakers, even with the better, even if their teams are playing defense, I think that series is a little bit more wide open, fun. The Boston Miami series will probably be pretty like, we'll be old school.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited, man.
I mean, you saw it with those Miami. You even saw some of the Miami Knicks games, the Heat Knicks games, and even with the Boston Philly games, you saw some of those games like 95-86 and stuff like that, which you don't see anymore. But that's certainly possible in the Eastern Conference.
So with these 4 teams being the same teams from the bubble,
the same ones?
Exact same situation, exact same area.
I knew Denver Lakers, and I know obviously Miami went to the finals. I didn't know they beat Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. I thought it was somebody else. But
so do we put the bubble title under without an asterisk now, or do it still asterisk?
I've never put an asterisk on it.
Okay,
I've never. It's it's not like the baseball one where they played like 50 games and then went to the playoffs and played like basketball.
Who won it? The Dodgers, didn't it?
The Dodgers, of course. That's the year they won it. Of course, freaking LA bitches. But I always say the Dodgers are like the city of LA. They have no balls. That's what I always say. That's like it's my little LA thing. But not Lakers. Different. But
all right, we got to lock our picks in. So Lakers, Denver, you got what?
Lakers and Miami both in 6.
Locked in.
And I got Lakers in 6.
Locked in.
And I got Boston in 7.
Locked in.
So there we go. That's what we think was going to happen. That's what we think how the series is going to play out as we go through it. As we
sorry, LeBron.
as we go through it here. We know, our expectations change as the series goes, but we're going to talk about each one. And I'm going to stick with my picks, though. I'm a Lakers-Boston NBA Finals. Sorry, Greg. You're going to watch it, though, so it doesn't matter. They're doing the draft lottery as well Tuesday night.
Is it Tuesday?
So right before the Lakers game, they're doing a draft lottery.
It's a big one.
Yeah, we're going to see Wembanyama going. So
it's a big one.
Right, this is one of the biggest ones since LeBron, I believe.
Man, if somehow freaking San Antonio pulls that, man, Popovich is gonna coach till he's 90. Be like, I got him.
Yeah, so that's another thing for us to watch for tomorrow or tonight. So excuse me. So we get official end to the Wembanyama state. So you got Detroit Pistons at 14%, Houston Rockets 14% with their new coach Udoka now. That's another thing we need to think about. Pop. Spurs got 14%. Hornets got 12.5%. Trailblazers 10.5%. Magic 9%. Pacers 6%. Washington 6%. Utah 4%. Oh wow, he gets to go there. That's crazy. Dallas got 3%.
Yeah, hoping Dallas gets the 10th pick. The 11th pick.
Oklahoma City got 1%. Toronto got 1%, and 0.5% for Pelicans. Wow, what fucking he goes to Dallas? That would be but I'm glad I seen Bradley Beal's picture. Bradley Beal can end up in Philadelphia next year. I forgot about that.
Again, if they have
together,
if they have the pieces, that's going to be the problem with them. But
if Harden goes back to Houston, you can get Beal. It's no doubt about it. You're going to have the cap space to get it done.
It's still going to be, but then it even gets harder to match up because you have to match up the numbers because you're going to be over the cap no matter what. Even if Harden leaves, you're still over the cap. It's a tough. I mean, that's these guys figure out ways to do it all the time. I think an interesting spot for him to go is for moving forward, thinking about roster. I mean, roster thing is if the Pistons win it and you got Cunningham, Ivy, who looked pretty good as a rookie. Who I liked him coming out of Purdue, and then so you got that's right there. That's Ivy and them in the picture, right? So that's your backcourt, and then boom, him in the front court.
I like Duran and Wiseman. Yeah, I like them too. So
yeah, so I mean that's a nice little 3 lottery picks to build around.
I say Wemby joining Cade, Jaden, Bojan Bogdanovic, and James Wiseman, Jalen Duren could stamp authenticity in Detroit again. So yeah, especially
if Wembanyama comes out and is like,
and the Cade Shin is good. Them two together.
Yeah, if he comes in and he's good right away, if he's really good right away too, especially. But you give the guy a year, of course. He's a baby. He's 7'3", 120 pounds, whatever he is.
He's gonna have to get some NBA weight. He's gonna get some of that NBA training, that NBA food. He's gonna take some adjustment.
Yeah, I mean you don't have to get. I mean, obviously KD's had a good career staying thin, but so you don't necessarily.
That man been thin forever.
Yeah, so I'm knocking over stuff. My bad.
We're near the end, so here on the I'm gonna switch this up next one. I'm gonna put this positivity first, so I can cut.
I thought you were gonna say you were gonna switch it up and be like F you.
Yeah,
you're cool.
But we're gonna switch. But here on the sport podcast or any LK pods, like I said, CST is coming. We in on positivity. We in corporate positivity, and the simple message is: watch the company that you keep, i.e., Ja Morant. Just watch the company you keep, man. Get you some positive people around.
Don't go live with a gun in your lap.
True. Just keep some positive people around you. Some people that looking out for the betterment of you, looking out for what's great, and looking out for the good in situations, and always thinking about you and knowing what's at stake, and think about what comes with what, and some thinkers, not no yes men. Just get you some real people around you that be like, nah, that ain't it. Nah, bro, we can't go along.
You want people around you for who you are, not what you are.
Very true. I like that. That's my message for positive. Just get you some real folk around you, man. They gonna really tell you, nah, that ain't it. I know, right? You ain't did your job yet. Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Yeah,
watch, subscribe. I mean, clearly, if you're hearing me say subscribe, you're watching. So like it, subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your friends. Tell your
cousin. They'll check us out. But yeah, man, just get some folk around you, bro. I mean, I'm pretty sure the NBA gonna make an example out of you for sure this time. So whatever they give you, take it on the chin. My boy, come back. Lakers winning the world championship this year, solidifying LeBron GOATness. Anything else?
I mean, well, that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, no. I mean, I'm picking them. So I think if it's, and I'm picking if my prediction comes true, I'm picking them to beat Miami for sure. So yeah, I think LeBron gets his fifth
for sure.
Sure as hell, if they're playing Boston, I'm rooting for them too. So
you already know here, man. Be humble, live humble, stay humble, and I'm thankful and I'm grateful for you for tuning in to the LK Sport Podcast. Y'all got it.